Hey viewers, my name's Kara. I'm your host for Tuesdays on the Pagan Perspective, and this week we're talking about religion as a blanket term. The question this week will be in the description so you can see the actual text, but it's asking about something the questioner has noticed where people tend to use the word religion as a blanket term when talking about things like gender equality, same-sex marriage, and things like that. And it appears that when people are using this as a blanket term, that they are referring to Abrahamic religion. And so the question is whether we've noticed that people using religion as a blanket term appears to be showing that people think that it can be used as a blanket term, or that that Abrahamic religions are seen to be universal when that is not the case. And have we noticed this happening, and what do we think we can do as non-Abrahamic religious believers to change that view and let people know that that's not the case, and whether we should be more vocal about it, things like that. So firstly, I absolutely have noticed this, and you guys have probably heard me mention it before or seen me post about it on my Facebook page or talk about it on my blog or any number of things. This is something that I've seen numerous times over the years, and it's something that bothers me. Especially one example I can think of that I have mentioned before is that there was a period of time where I would drive by various Christian and Catholic churches in my area, and they would all have these signs posted out front that say something about religious freedom, or we support religious freedom, or, you know, things like that. And I was really bothered by this because I knew that what they were referring to was religious freedom for Christians in other countries, where it is illegal to be Christian, or where Christians were facing extreme hardship, even violence. And I don't think it's wrong for them to want to support religious freedom for their own religion in other countries. I do think that it's awful what people have to go through because of their religious beliefs anywhere that it happens. But it always bothered me because these were churches, a few of them were churches in my area, the leaders and congregation members of which I know personally, and so I know their views about other religions. And so what bothered me was people going around saying, support religious freedom, but they didn't mean freedom for all religions. They only meant freedom for their own religion. And I was like, hey, you're not the only one out there, you know? So I've definitely seen that happen. I've also definitely heard people say things such as religion is bad because it promotes this, or because it does this, it makes people think this. I also know someone who used to be pagan, who now considers themselves more of an atheist agnostic, and they posted something a while ago about religion, using it as a blanket term and saying that they don't like religion because of this. And what they were saying made it very clear that they were speaking about Abrahamic religions. And because I knew that this person used to be a pagan, I felt no hesitation, and this is a friend of mine, so I felt no hesitation in commenting back and saying, hey now, you know, I know damn well that you know that that is not all religion that you're talking about. All religions are not this way. You're talking about a very specific group of religions. And they were like, well, yeah, you're right, but, you know, I'm using it in the way that a lot of people use it. And I'm like, well, yeah, I know, but that's wrong, you know? I don't frequently say that many things are wrong, but I do think that it is wrong. It is factually incorrect to say religion when you really only mean like 3 or 4 types of religious paths that are out there. Because that's not all religion. So yes, I've seen it happen. Yes, it kind of bugs me. I don't let it get to me quite as much as it probably used to, as it definitely used to in the past. But I know where you're coming from, and it does still prickle my feathers, and I do wish that more people kind of knew about the truth of the matter. So as for what we can do about it, as I said, in the case where it was my friend, I felt comfortable saying something about it and just putting it out there. And I do that a lot when it's people on my friends list on Facebook or things like that. I don't really feel insecure or unwelcome in saying something to them like, hey, just remember that doesn't apply to all religions, you know, and that's as simple as it can be. And then in other aspects, I guess for me it's always just a matter of doing what you do and being who you are and just living as an example, being an example in the way that you live your life. And also, we have done this, I don't remember, I know I did a video on it, I don't remember if it was my personal channel or if it was a pagan perspective topic, or maybe it was a collab topic that I did on my personal channel, I don't remember, but we talked about identifying as religious versus spiritual, and a lot of people who don't want to identify with those Abrahamic religions or whatever the mainstream religions are that people feel get the term religion, if they don't want to identify with that, then they want to disassociate with the word religion, so they call themselves spiritual instead, even if what they believe and what they practice really is also a religion. So I think that it might also have to do with not being afraid to identify as religious and spiritual, and letting people know, hey, we are religious too. These are religions too. Not all religions are this way, and not all people in the religions that we talk about when we say this way are this way, if you know what I mean. We never want to generalize, we never want to do that to people because that's just not fair, and it is also factually incorrect. There are a lot of things about certain religions that we disagree with, there may be a lot of individuals within those religions that we disagree with, but we can't really ever say that it is absolutely everybody and absolutely everything. But you know, so that's my little internal disclaimer that you all know by now if you've been watching the channel for years or if you've been watching my videos for years. But just in case there's any new people out there, don't worry, that's not what I'm saying. But yeah, so I think it's partially our responsibility to just make it known, but I don't think it's something that we really have to be too strong about, like going out and putting in people's faces, hey, we're a religion too. But, you know, it can be simple things like, quite recently, I usually wear a pagan pride bracelet. I haven't put my jewelry on today because I haven't had to go anywhere yet, but I usually wear a pagan pride bracelet, and I'm a server at a tea parlor, and so I have all these different customers coming in all the time, and people sometimes ask me about my bracelets. I blogged about this recently. I'll put a link in the description so you can read the whole story, but I had someone ask me, you know, when I quickly ran through what my bracelets were, and usually people just, you know, let it go at that. One person actually went back and asked me, what's pagan? And like they didn't know what it was, they'd never heard it before. And the quickest way that I could possibly describe it, it was a busy day and I had to get to like 3 other tables, so the quickest way that I could describe it was I told her, you know, paganism is a group of religions. And, you know, something even as simple as that could stick in someone's head and they, oh, okay, there are religions other than the ones that I know about. So I think of it as just taking any opportunity that you're presented with where you feel comfortable enough to have that little educational, teachable moment to go ahead and do so, if you're someone who likes to do that sort of thing. I certainly feel comfortable doing that most of the time. It would depend on the situation. There are certainly some situations in which I wouldn't want to bring up that topic, and, you know, I didn't really want it to be brought up at work, but I do wear the bracelet, and I do represent whenever I get a chance to, so. In the comments, tell us some stories about instances where you've seen this happening, where people have used religion as a blanket term in a way that did not really apply to all religion. And tell us how you personally deal with it, or how you personally seek to change people's views of it, or if you don't. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next week. And I'm not going to give anything away right now, but I just put together the topics for the next couple of months based on the topics that I already had in the list, and I'm really excited for some of the upcoming topics. We got enough that were similarly related to do another theme month, like how years back Kyle and I did a month that was all about death and related topics, because people had asked about death and the afterlife and reincarnation and stuff like that, so we just did it all in a big month. Got another month like that coming up. Not the same topic, but 4 or 5 topics that are all related. And I haven't done a personal channel video in a while, and I keep meaning to. This is my first day off in forever, and it wasn't supposed to be a day off. It was at the last minute. They were like, don't bother coming in. So yeah, I'm sorry about that. If you're subscribed to my personal channel, I'll try to get some content up there pretty soon. Thanks for watching. Until next week, don't forget to be awesome, blessed be, and goodbye.